Hello lovely artists, it's Mrs. Cloet here in the Great Big Art Room, wanting to do a quick little demo of how I've created layers in our cardboard relief sculpture. So I've printed out an image of my original. I've chosen to do Edvard Munch's The Scream. You can see I've kind of got these curly organic wavy lines and this bridge kind of piece, and then obviously our main dude in the middle. So what I've done is I've created my little guy. I've cut him out, just some basic outlines here, using of course my scoring technique. I haven't finished him yet. I think I want to decide on figuring out a way how to create texture or darker value in just his shirt. Because you can see here in my example, he's got a dark outfit, but a lighter face. So I'm actually going to do some problem solving. I may peel back those top layers to make his outfit a little darker. But for this video, I want to just show you how I've created depth in my layers. So I've got my swirly kind of dark texture here. I made that by cutting up some of our textured flexible cardboard into long strips on my chopper, and you're welcome to do that. And then I've mounted it on the side, or I've glued it down on the side, and that gives me the freedom to really move and play with this line work, and allows me to create this dark value. Then you can see I have some pieces here. This is actually going to glue up on the top. Let me just place it where it's going to be. It's going to be like this. I'm just going to move this down. That piece goes there. Then I've got this one more piece that is going to glue onto here, and then I'll glue the bridge and the main guy, kind of this stuff's going to go on the top. So you can see obviously he's my top layer. I'm still working away on this bridge piece that's going to go here, and he'll be on top. But before I do any of those surface or those foreground layers, I have to create this background. So because I wanted to use this side mounted flexible cardboard, then it means I've got some height to it. I've glued it on its side, so I've got some height. And if I want to create these textures, these sections of my background, it means I have to lift them. So what I've done, and what I want to show you here, if I remove these guys, is I've built up sections, right? I've just glued these on. These have some width to them. It's actually part of this packaging here. You can see how wide it is or how thick it is. And I've glued it down in just small sections, and that's creating that lift. So I can mount the next section, and it's going to be flush with my dark part. Okay? And I've actually glued pieces of that everywhere, and that's going to allow me to mount each little level so that, or each little piece, so that they are level with my overall flush surface. And then after I've glued those down, of course, I can start to add in my foreground pieces, and then my really superficial or surface piece of this main guy. Okay, so just wanting you to always be considerate of the process. What's going to happen first? As you're developing your ideas, as you're starting to lay out your rough copy, you've got this printout and you've colored on it to show what's the foreground, what's this midground, and then background. As you think about the logistics, or consider the logistics, always remember what has to go down first. So in order for me to make this a flush or a smooth surface so I can glue my foreground layers on, this needs to end up being flat. And if I'm wanting to use this textured flexible piece glued on its side, that's going to lift everything. And in order to do that, I have to glue some pieces that are going to create that sense of lift or evenness, so I can glue things on top that will eventually create this nice flat surface for me to mount my foreground. Okay, just wanted to show you. I will post videos at the end when I've glued everything down, and I can show you how I've created texture, the different ways I've created texture. You can see even here, this is one way of creating a dark value, right? This is kind of giving me a mid-tone value. This is giving me a light value. I still wanted to create some interest here, and so I actually just took my X-Acto knife and just started cutting just the superficial cuts, just like the scoring method. And then actually what I end up doing to give it a little bit more is I took the back end, the end of my X-Acto knife, and then I just pushed. So that made a few of these little areas bump in to give me a little bit more texture. So there's so much you can do to create different layers and levels of value with the same cardboard. Turning it on the side, using this texture, creating your own texture, so much you can do. So that's one of the levels, and then I'll end up building all my foreground on top. Thanks so much.